Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again, with a very, very interesting take on something that I've been marinating on for quite a little bit of time as of late. All right. If it's your first time to the channel, guys, make sure you subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the Good Docs content. All of my good stuff is listed in the link in the description area below. Today's topic and focus of conversation is surrounding popular YouTuber Nas Daily. Now, I became familiar with his content because he is synonymous for the 8-minute videos, the 1-minute videos, in reference to providing you guys with quick takes on particular countries that he's traveled to, his opinions and things about different countries that he's been in. But earlier this month, specifically August 5th, with the article that I'm going to share with you guys, it was recently made known that this particular individual may not be what is portrayed in his YouTube videos. Now, I want you guys to rock with me real quick. Let me share my screen with you guys because I came across this GMA article that I thought was rather interesting. All right, so let me run through it and we'll talk about it as we go along. Okay, so GMA reporter exposes Nas Daily following alleged Wang Od, I believe, Academy scam. All right, now we're going to read about it and we're going to try to understand what this scam and all this stuff is about. And hopefully the article will detail it enough for us to be able to gather further understanding. Now, this is the gentleman known as Nas Daily. You can type his name in YouTube. His videos are still up, so you could pretty much get an idea of who he is. But like I said, I became familiar with him during those 1-minute videos, 8-minute videos. And I do believe he actually had a podcast where an issue came up with another vlogging YouTuber as well. Okay, so let me see if I can find the story. I got to read more. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it says, recent tweets of GMA News journalist, I believe her name is Shay or Shy Lagarde, are currently trending online. All right. In there, she seemingly exposes the true colors of Palestinian Israeli video blogger Nas Daily. On Twitter, she retweeted a post that read, and I'm not going to read the what it says in Filipino, but basically, he has been milking our culture since day one. Now, this is a very interesting concept for many, many reasons. I can name 100 vloggers that you could possibly potentially see milking the Philippines for views and subscribers and things like that. It's not brand new. People have been doing this forever. They know that if you want to make a channel pop quick, the Philippines is probably the best place to do it. It's no big secret. I think most foreign vloggers are really aware of that in this moment. Okay, so they believe that he's been milking the country since day one. All right. Then, excuse me. Then Shy shared a story with her friend's family who reportedly hosted Nas in their hometown because he was looking to do more Philippine content. Now, again, this is just the words of one person to another. Again, I'm not sure where the facts are going to come into this. This is just something that is an experience that this particular person wanted to share. Is it true? Is it not? That is not for us to say. All right. Unless there's facts or a video recorded or something to prove it. Right now, this is all just speculation. All right. So it says apparently the script that Nas had imagined didn't match up to what he saw. So even if there was a good story to tell, he ended up throwing a tantrum and packing up. She went on to say how Nas imitated and mocked the accent of the locals, and let me scroll down. And said that no one cares about the farmers. This will not get views. This isn't what I wanted to shoot. Seemingly referred to what Nas said during his tantrum. Why are Filipinos so poor anyways? You're so freaking poor. If you look at his videos, you can tell it's scripted. That's like a it's obvious. I mean, clearly. I mean, you would have to be blind. Stevie Wonder could even see that it's all scripted. Getting people to come through and say certain things. You're saying certain things. I guess that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. It's a script. You're working it. You're rocking it that way. So ideally, you can't get mad at it for being scripted. But the fact that a script didn't follow the way that he wanted it to go down, he got upset about it apparently and said that this will not get views. I'm pretty sure some of your favorites are probably trying to figure out what is going to get the views and things like that when it comes to their channel. That's pretty much what content creators are all trying to do. So I can't really hold his hand to the fire because of that. You want to bring up topics, at least in my realm where we work in, because his version of the Philippines and how we, the realistic people who have lived there, been there, done that, our version of how we respond and talk about the Philippines is going to be completely different than them. My content will not be his content and vice versa. So, you know, probably the way he wants to show the Philippines is a way in which I got to see what these people can, how many views I can get off of this. And again, although we all want views, there are certain ways that we go about it. And like I said, the way that I may do it or the way somebody else may be doing it is two different ways of doing it. So if he wants to create the visual, right, show you guys different parts of the country and stuff like that, I did always find it very hard to say, okay, this sums up the Philippines in 1 minute. This sums up the Philippines in 8 minutes. It's impossible to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to do that because honestly, when you look into it and you read into it, there are definitely some things that when I watch it, I'm like, well, that's pretty much just one side of the story. Number one, that's just one opinion. Number two, you're not looking at it from multiple perspectives. Number three, and ideally, if anybody from the outside looking in is looking at this and he's only showing the beautiful areas and things like that and only promoting the positive of it all and not necessarily the realities that a lot of people have been able to experience, then it's kind of like, you're kind of telling half truths to an extent when you do things like that. And like I said, you can't sum up the Philippines in 8 minutes, bro. You can't sum up the Philippines in 1 minute. I just don't see that being plausible, right? So again, this young lady is saying that whatever he was about to film is not going to get him any views. He was mad, you know, talking about why are Filipinos so poor, blah, 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 and things of that nature were said. The creator that NAS came with called and apologized on his behalf. My friend was a huge fan and was disappointed. Their parents were shocked, but they decided not to do anything about it. We just thought maybe someday his actions will catch up to him and people will see him for who he truly was. Ideally, there are multiple people who can corroborate this story, should somebody actually ask them about it. No names were mentioned, so these are the screenshots. Again, the reference article will be listed in the link in the description area below for you guys to actually be able to follow along. I don't even know if he's responded to it. Let's go on with what the article has to say. It says, glad I have never followed this guy nor watched any of his videos. Also, don't forget the guy behind the Project Nightfall page. They have the same strategy. I'm not familiar with Project Nightfall. Maybe you guys are. Like I said, man, I just know through YouTube and YouTube only. All right. He says, I really don't like it when foreigners, this is a comment made by somebody else and by an online user. It says, I really don't like it when foreigners acting like they know about the Philippine politics when they really don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Even people may say, Doc, you don't know anything either. Again, I probably fit in that same realm. I mean, like I said, my experience there, what I've been able to share as far as my experience there is going to be different than somebody who just landed in a country 1 year ago, 1 week ago, 1 month ago, 24 hours ago. The way that I see the Philippines will not be the way that a newbie coming into the country is going to see it. You understand? So ideally, I do not believe that foreigners should ever get involved in Philippine politics. Yes, I do have videos about President Duterte and all of that because I know what life is like under the presidential Duterte regime, more specifically during his mayoral run in Davao City during my time in the country. So I'm able to share in my experiences of what it was like to live in a country or live more specifically in a city that was ran by the Duterte. So that's why I share in my respectful content about Philippine politics. You're never going to hear me say anything scathing or seething because, again, like I said, there's certain levels to this shit when it comes to Philippine content. And you can touch on that shit on certain levels, but you got to be ready for the ramifications if you're willing to take it that far. Okay. And ideally, I'm not sure if that was what anything that he was doing, but the particular content creator here, but you got to understand that there's levels to this shit for sure. Another online viewer said his views on politics, world issues was already a red flag. The fact that he actually looks down on farmers, he's praying for his own downfall. Okay, so apparently this particular YouTuber has made some some comments about the political realm of the Philippines. I'm not familiar with what he said. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't care about what he said about Philippine content or Philippine politics. It's just nothing that I care to hear about. But yeah, you can't talk shit about the farmers and the people of, you just can't talk shit about the people of the country, period. If it's constructive criticism, it's different. Even then, that shit will still get you yeeted. But, you know, you just got to be careful with what you say. Anybody who has ever made any Philippine videos knows about that. Many also suggested that Filipinos should stop patronizing NAS by unfollowing him on social media accounts where he has almost 21 million followers on Facebook while 3.7 million subscribers on YouTube, bro. Y'all ain't, I love my Filipino people, but y'all ain't gonna stop watching this man. As long as he keeps putting out all these flowery videos about the Philippines, I doubt that your opinions of him will change, even though this is something that, again, it's just word of mouth. It's never been factually proven that he said these things. There are multiple people who can corroborate, it seems, but ideally it's going to be hard to try to cancel somebody in the Philippines. Trust me. If somebody could have been canceled, it should have been Vicky Bello, but I digress. She can't. I love Vicky Bello. Don't even play games. But yeah, man, I mean, from the foreigner looking in, I will say this, though. I will play devil's advocate in this regard. And I'll only say this, and I'll only say it one time. I definitely, if he is Palestinian Israeli descent, you got to understand how they normally feel about politics. If they are reflecting what they have personally experienced in their own home countries, if that is a reflection of how he feels about certain governmental issues in other countries, I'm not going to say that he has the right to do so, because the foreigner has no right to really speak on the politics of another country. But me just trying to play devil's advocate, he is likely to have an opinion about things that happen in his own home country. Or I should say he is likely to reflect his own personal experience if he did grow up in that particular region. I know that's where his descent is, but the things that are happening in these parts of the world, if he has an issue with it on a political realm, I don't see him not having a comment on the political landscape in other countries. Because if you know how it is in those countries, then you know. All right. So apparently, let me go ahead and get back to the article, guys. They're telling them that you need to unsub to him, blah, blah, blah. Recall that NAS is trending recently after Grace Palikas, I believe, the grandniece of the 104-year-old tattoo master and awardee Wang Od, called out the foreigner influencer, warning Wang Od, I believe I'm saying that right, Academy is a scam. My grandmother did not sign any contract with this man to do any academy. Some people are taking advantage of our culture. Please help us stop the disrespect to the legacy of the Apo Wang Od and the Bot tribe. Sorry. Tattooed by, that was the group that posted the message. So ideally, apparently, he was opening an academy for tribal artwork, and they're saying, nah, motherfucker, he ain't rock with us. He just used our name. Yeah, okay, I can see that. NAS announced last June that 12 Filipino personalities, including Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray, fashion designer Michael Cinco, food vlogger Erwin Husaf, that's my boy, I love Erwin Husaf, and broadcast journalist Jessica Soho will be sharing their knowledge through the NAS Academy. Interesting. Among the latest course it offered was Wang Od. For 750 pesos, people could discover all the ritual tools and methods for making traditional tattoos. So this man is trying to create an academy in the Philippines. Wow. The NAS Academy team had to travel 2 whole days to a remote village in the Philippines just to find her and bring this course to you. The text in their website reads, now, you get a chance to learn from a living legend, preserve her legacy, and pass it on to future generations. So apparently they were saying that this person is going to be the teacher of this particular class. And the Wang Od Academy, whatever, the Wang Od version of the NAS Academy, this particular master tattoo or tribal arts woman is going to teach you guys about tribal art. And they said, no, the family, like, bro, we didn't sign any contracts. I'm not coming. Apparently, that's what they're saying. This is just BS, is what they're trying to say. All right. As of the writing, the learning page from the One Gold Craft is no longer available on NAS Academy. So clearly that thing is no longer available. I believe that that is all that is written on that particular article. You guys will have an opportunity to view it for yourself in the description area below. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time, nor will it be the last, that you're going to have foreigners trying to exploit the Philippines. It's not. Let's keep it a buck and a half. Foreigners, at least in the last few years, have kind of noticed that the Philippines is a growth hack for a YouTube channel. The Philippines is a growth hack to a YouTube channel. Has that benefited me in any way, shape, or form? Hell no. I mean, I have a fair amount of subscriber counts and I have a fair amount of views, and I enjoy what I get from the channel because I'm doing this because I enjoy the country and I enjoy talking about things in the country. But please, y'all got to know, foreigners do this shit all the time. It's a growth hack. And for those that don't know what a growth hack is, it's basically attaching your content to something that could get massive views. And in the Philippines, because Filipinos are really into listening to people speak positive about the Philippines and stuff like that, and they're really good on visuals. And if you could create fancy visuals and great storylines and scripts and all of the above, I mean, your channel has the fucking potential to skyrocket. If you guys remember, I just posted a video a couple days ago about people acting like they never seen certain things in the Philippines, man. People exploiting the Philippines, foreigners more specifically, about the malls in the Philippines, hotels in the Philippines. It was a joke. It was to be a parody. But ideally, man, you have people who act like certain things don't exist in the Philippines. Same rules apply. They know that it's a growth hack to come and talk about the Philippines and be a part of it. I lived there for 10 years, bro. 10 years of my life consistently. And I've been back and forth every summer that I have been able to travel. So I know what to expect when I get there. I've been there. I've done that. And every time, man, it just seems to be like, you know, one person starts off with this very mediocre small channel. Next thing you know, that channel skyrockets through the roof as long as you're creating positive content about the Philippines, right? Like, especially if you're white. Let's be real. If you're white or light skinned or whatever the fuck, you're going to growth hack the fuck out of the Philippines, because Filipinos love hearing white folk talk good about their country. Why, if you blonde hair, blue eyes, or light skin or white skin, bro, your channel's gonna pop. And that's just the truth, man. Let's not sit that shit, coat that shit. Blackface, I mean, I say positive things about Philippines all the time. That shit ain't helped me. It ain't helped me at all. They're like, okay, it's you. But let somebody else say it, man. It's a little different. And that channel is going to boost up. It's a growth hack. And most people have been able to figure it out. That's how it works. You know, you see new bloggers and bloggers coming to the Philippines every day. Ideally, that's what my channel is based around, for sure. But I can't say that I'm only going to have Philippine content, you know, as the years move forward. I mean, I'm going to progress into other things as well. But ideally, the fact that NAS Academy came to, I mean, NAS Daily, not Academy, NAS Daily comes into the country, you know, he's able to see, yo, my responses to my Philippine videos are popping. I'm going to stay here for a little bit. And I know he had a podcast, because I remember there was a hot take between him and like Will Dasovich once upon a time. So I do remember that coming up, and I don't remember, that was months ago. I don't know if it was something Will said or whatever, but I know there was I think it was Nas's podcast that they said something, and apparently something got taken out of context or whatever. I don't know. But the fact is, now he's made a home for himself in the country. I hope BIR is on that ass, though. Let's not forget that. I hope BIR is on that ass. Whole Academy, though, bro. This man said, I got to catch you on the grade to be a part of it. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. The dude's, like I said, 3 million subscribers. I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to associate himself with that circle in the Philippines. Rightfully so, man. That's just what comes with the territory when you have such a large subscriber count. I can't go back in time to figure out this particular data, but I would be interested to know how big his channel got since he started filming Philippine content. I would love to know where he was before he came to the Philippines and how big he got since he was in the Philippines. Because again, that will tell you everything that you need to know about the exploitation of foreigners using Philippine content to grow their YouTube channels. it's not really a secret, but it's like people don't really know about it. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. It's out there in the world today. I mean, it's up to you how you choose to respond to it. Is he a fraud? That's based on personal opinion alone. Is he a scammer? Based on personal feelings alone. I don't know, man. It's up to you guys to figure that one out. I just had to report the news, man. You know what it is. You know who I is. This has been a Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. And with that being said, Good Doc is officially out. At least not go by alone, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahakita. Mabuhay. Peace.